In this lesson, we're going to build the front bumper of our car. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Edge Mode, and we're going to start building the front bumper. There's a couple of different ways that we could go about doing this. We'd want to come in and just kind of block in the top of the headlight, and then maybe even continue right down underneath this way, or we can start right off of the hood. Either way would be fine. Really quickly, let's take this edge and let's bridge those together. And then we're going to leave it open just like that for right now. And I think the easiest way to get started would be to go ahead and just start right up here at the top. So I'm going to take these three edges and go to my left view. And I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to drag this down to the top of the grill there. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to go to our front view, hitting F on the keyboard. And we are going to grab this edge right here. And I'm going to hold shift and drag that straight down until that meets with that edge there. Okay. We could go ahead and take all of these and we could start to kind of move this down or something like that if we wanted to. But I'm afraid that might, well, actually it's not too bad. I was looking at it, I was thinking it might skew what we have, but I think it might be okay. It's important to know that these vertices need to match up right up at the front of this. So having that set there, and then we'll take this and we'll pull that across too. And I think that'll actually work pretty well, to be honest. Let's take these, let's hold shift, drag that straight down. Let's grab these two vertices here and let's make sure that those weld together. And then we'll just match up our reference image here. Okay. And we'll get these points in there just like so. And I want to make sure that these polygons have the same thickness going all the way around. Let's make sure that we have that set properly. Let me just pull that down a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to take this edge, we're going to hold shift, we're going to drag that out, and we're going to trace around the edge of our grill here. And so I'm just matching these up. And I'm looking at the blue line right now. Okay, I'm not worried about the white line just yet. And we'll hold shift, and we'll continue to pull these around. Okay, and we'll go all the way around here. Just a few more to go on this one. And we're going to do this until we get to the very center. And then hold shift, drag that all the way across like that. Let's make sure that this is planar in the Z, so that way it's straight up. And then we'll type in 0 on our X, so that way it's perfectly centered there. Alright, so that looks pretty good. We may want to come in and modify the position of some of these vertices. Make sure you use your edge constraints whenever doing this, so that way you don't change the shape of your model too much. And I just kind of want to straighten this up a little bit. Okay. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. I don't see anything that's really sticking out to me that needs to be changed or anything like that. So now we have that, but if you take a look at your left view, it's not matching up all the way. And so what we want to do is we want to take the center vertices right here, okay, right on the outside edge. Go to your left view and just pull that back until that matches. Now hit Control Z one time because we had our constraint turned on if you tried to move that and it didn't move right. Then we're going to select the next set of vertices, pull that back, and you should be selecting just two vertices at a time. If it becomes difficult to see, just like this, you can go in, you can select it, and then pull it back. Okay, and then go to your perspective view again, select the next set of vertices, go to your left view, and then pull that back. Now, right up here, I can see that this set of vertices right here is not out far enough. So we'll pull that over forward. Then we'll grab the next one, pull that forward a little bit, just like that. You should get this nice swooping flow here. Go to your top view really quickly. Make sure that that's matching up there. That looks pretty good. Happy with how that's turned out so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edge Mode. Let's select this loop right inside of this, and I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to drag that straight back, and that's going to create kind of a lip on the inside of that. Let's go ahead and make sure that it's kind of a small lip for right now, because I need to create this part that you see on the outside as well. This can be done by going in to your front view, and you need to select the edges that make up that outside portion there. So just select these. Go to your left view, hold Shift, drag that straight back, and I'm going to drag it to this point meets here at the top. Select that vertex, and then go to your front view, and then pull that to the left until it matches right there. We're going to do the same thing for all of these. We're just going to pull those out, and I'm just going to pull them out really quickly, not really worrying about what it looks like in the reference image for right now. I just want to make it easy to select for right now. So now in our front view, we have that one. Let me take this one and pull that in. And I'm just going to continue pushing and pulling these around in the front view. And then I'll just go in the left view and then match it up where it needs to go. So just like that. And then in our left view, we'll pull it over to the right. Let's take all of these really quickly. Let's pull them forward until the first one meets, and then we'll grab the rest of them. Just like that. All right, great. So now we've got that started. You can see that now we have this open set of polygons right here. This is going to take a little bit of planning, and we need to figure out exactly how we want to build in the headlight itself. I think that it would be best to go ahead and select these edges, hold Shift and drag those down until they meet the headlight. So I'm going to take this, let me pull it down to here. I'll pull this down. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take this edge, I'm going to hold Shift and I'm going to drag this out. Now this is going to look really funny at first, but you'll see that as we continue pulling out these points and getting those to match, it'll start to make a little more sense. Okay, we just really want to make sure that we block in that shape. Now, looking at the front, you can see that it appears to be on the headlight, but if we go to our left, it appears as though it needs to come up. Well, we know that the front is set correctly, so in the left, all we need to do is actually push it forward until it meets that reference image. Okay, just like that. Let's take this one right here. Let's pull that back just a little bit. And that's going to ensure, let's hit Alt-X, that you've got that flat surface that you need there. Now, the problem that I have right now on this is that I've got this extra vertex right here. And I don't really know where that needs to go. So I'm going to pull it up right about here. Okay, we can think about how we want this to turn, where are we going to go from here. Let me go to my front view. Let me pull this to right here and then go to the left view and let's pull that forward to here because that's where it's actually at in the reference image. So now I just need to add another segment to bridge across to that. So let's go to Edit, Swift Loop. Let's add a segment right about there, right there in the center, and then go to your left view. Anytime that you add a segment, you may have to do a quick adjustment to your shape. So that way you still have the roundness of the flow of this. Okay. Then let's go to Edge Mode, select these two edges, and bridge that. Now you'll see that right now it's not adhering properly to the shape of the headlight. We're actually missing that corner. But I'm going to go ahead and skip over that for right now because if I add an edge, actually, you know what, let's add it. Let's add a loop right here in the middle. And let's add that there. And let's grab that vertex, go to our left view, pull that up there, and get that to match up to that section there. Now I'll actually pull this one up like that. Okay, making some quick adjustments. making sure that we are getting that shape that we desire out of that. Okay, looking at the overall shape, after we've made those movements, may have to just do a little bit of tweaking here and there. That looks good. Okay, in our front view, now we need to get all of this to come back together. We can do this by holding down Shift and starting to trace around that headlight. And I'm going to plug that right about there. Okay, take this edge, hold Shift, drag that out. Oops. And then let's pull that up there. All right, now before I go too much further, let's have that vertex selected right here, and then let's go to our left view. Make sure that that's out on the corner of that headlight there. And let's go to our front view. Actually, it needs to be a little bit before that corner, so we're going to pull it back to here. We'll take this one and pull it back, just like that. So that's just about midway. All right, now we'll take these points that we see here, and we're going to pull those around until it flattens out. Okay, and to check to see if it's flattened out, you may want to go into something like your perspective view, just to kind of look at that angle there. This one may need to come out just a little bit. Okay, back to our front view. Let's continue on. Hold Shift, pull that out to about the corner there, and then in your left view, push that back to right about here. Then the final thing that we'll need to do in our front view, let's take this edge here. Let's take these two edges and let's bridge those. Okay. Now all that's going to bridge together. Let's hit Alt-X so we can see that. Oops, I accidentally moved that away from my seam, and I didn't mean to do that. Make sure you do not change the seams. Okay. All right, so now we've got all of that. Now we can start to bridge some of these points together. So we're going to bridge that. That fills that in. And then the next thing that we need to do is take these two edges, hold Shift, drag that straight down. And I'm going to take these points in the vertices, I'm going to drag those down until I get this flat surface right here. Okay, just like that. Let's hit Alt-X. Let's come in and let's fill this area in. Let's get all of that connected. The way that I'm going to go about doing that is I need to take this or these two sets of edges, go to our left view. Let's hit Alt-X really quickly. And let's hold Shift and drag that straight back. What that's going to do is it's going to create a flat surface underneath that. And that's actually there. There's a little bit of a dip that's underneath there. We need that. Okay. And then I'm going to add a loop right here. Okay, and I'm going to try to get all of this connected together. So to go about doing that, let me grab this edge, pull that there. Let's take this edge and bridge. So that's going to close that in. And then let's take another edge. Let's add it right here. We're going to take this edge and this one, bridge that. And then I'm going to add another segment right here in the middle. So we're going to loop that right here. And then I'm going to take this edge and bridge that. And then let's take this edge and this one, bridge that, and then we're left with this hole right here. So those two and bridge that. So you can see that we've created this little loop here. If that's hard for you to see, go ahead and turn off your Show End Result. Oops, let me go back to our view there. Show End Result, and you can kind of see how that is flowing into this. Okay, it goes right up into that. Let me show End Result again. And then what we'll need to do is just a little bit of tweaking on our vertices. Just kind of pulling those back, making sure that it flattens out a little bit more. Okay, it's not protruding out like a big bubble. I'm going to take this vertex right here and I'm going to constrain it to my edge and pull that back in the Y, just so that way it kind of flattens out a little bit here across the top. Alright, so there is that. Now we have the next part that we need to take care of, and that's going to be the lower portion of that bumper. We've done a pretty good job so far, but now we need to get the rest of this, and so we're going to finish up the front bumper in our next lesson.